Hello everybody, welcome back to Kin Stuff Garage. What I got going on right now is my 96 Jeep Grand Cherokee. I want to replace the hinge pins up there. Now what happened, and watch this door real close. See it drop? Because the hinge pins are shot. In the process of the hinge pins going bad, get a little light here so you can see. Around each one of these bolts, well, either way, around each one of these bolts, I've welded. Took the bolt out, pressed the bracket back, because if you look at it, it's plastic. Or part of it's plastic. You got plastic housing. You don't want to set that on fire. Take the bolts loose, slide it back, leaving the bolts in. Take out the one bolt that you're going to weld around. And then weld around it, grind it down, put the bolt back in, go to the next, then go to the next. Now, she ain't pretty, and right now I've just got etching primer on it, just to seal it up and stop it from rusting, until I can find my can of paint. Alright, quick note. Before you weld, disconnect your battery. Secondly, before you take the door out, roll your window down. It's just being safe. If for any reason that the door should roll or fall or whatever, you're not breaking out a $70 piece of glass. Excuse me. It's going to be those two 10mm bolts right there and right there, and that connector. Alright, as soon as I figure out exactly how that comes off, and I'm pretty sure it's just squeeze, but it's a whole 37 degrees out here. Well, that's outside. Inside here, it's actually colder because I don't have any heat on, and it's been in the teens last night. As I was saying before my battery went dead, I've just got to get those two slid apart. And then I've got a transmission jack right there, which I'm going to lift up and put underneath the door so I can do this little job all by my lonesome. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to see very well, and I'm going to say sorry for the noise. I'm going to use an air tools to get these out, because it's cold up here. Take the bottom loose first. That way the weight of the door comes down on it. But I've got the jack up underneath there, so it's not going anywhere. And I still have to get the wiring loose. To give it a little bit of room to move, to give me some slack and all this, so that maybe I can get it apart, because it doesn't really want to cooperate. Get that slid all the way up. Okay, I got it apart. Unfortunately, I went in, I pried it, and that little piece right there broke off inside. It goes You know what? I don't know where it goes. But it goes in there somewhere. So we got those two parts out. I'll be able to plug it. From the way that thing plugs in, it's not going to have a problem with coming back apart. Now, for the fun. And now you get to watch me take the door off. I hope to tell you this thing's heavy. We don't let minor little things like that stop us. But this thing is way fun. Okay, now I've got to get those two pins out. We're going to see just how much fun that's going to be. Okay, so you can see the problem here. At least I hope you can. This hinge right here. I mean, it really isn't that bad when you're doing it this way. But this pin's got slop, it's moving forward, and this one's moving backward. And vice versa. The front one, it's not quite as bad, or I shouldn't say the front one, the top one. It's got a little bit, but you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm just going to replace them both. Now, what I can see here is that they appear to be stamped at the top. If this was a GM, they would have just put a retainer on the top to keep the pin in. So I'm going to have to grind off the tops of both of these pins. This one's going to be a bit harder because of limited space. This one, we're going to hope it ain't too bad. Then we'll dry the pin down, put in a new pin and bushings, and say yippee. And if I can't get to the top one, well, for no more slack than what it's got, I'm not going to worry about it. This is the one that's giving me all the trouble, because it's the one that deals with most of the weight of the door. Well, I just went and buffed the pin. I wasn't real happy with the way the bearings slid off and on. It was kind of grabbing right in here. It's got a little bit of slop to it. Not real happy about that either. But I'm sure once I drive it in, it's going to close up. Also, they had the pins coming in from the bottom, and then they stamped them on the top. These pins I'm going to drop in from the top and just let them sit in there. It's got this knurled edge on it. It's going to lock tight into this plate. At least that's the idea. Okay, I am going to be working with the pneumatic, for the simple fact that the electric one, the blade's too big. It hits here and here before it hits there. My pneumatic, well, the blade's worn down. So, I forgot my face shield. Hang on. Got my mask. I think that ought to do it. Okay, from this point it's pretty easy. Put a punch in there. I already knocked it loose. Now people, remember, how does the hinge sit? It sits like this. This is the side that was against the door jamb. This is the side where you see where the bolt, let me flip this up. You can see where the bolts set in there. Don't flip this thing over. Now these are original pins. I can tell because they're painted. Whee! Bushings go here and here. I will have to drive those out. And see, this is where you can get things turned upside down and stuff. Or remember, the lips come up. See if I can do this on this side. Also, boy, that one's got a big old gash in it. That's not from me, that's from factory. It's split also. Weird. Okay. Trying to show you this using the minimum amount of air tools as I can. So you guys at home that don't have pneumatic tools, you can do it. Get a screwdriver up underneath the edge, and she's out. Just gonna have to do the same with this one. I don't know if I can just get it like that, or oh, that's some nasty stuff. Well, you can't see when I'm working clear over there, right? Can you? Nope. Little smack of the hand, and it still comes out reluctantly, but it will come out because it is very slowly. Voila! Remember, flat sides of the bushings go here. Put that one in. This may have to be done on a vise. Whew, that one almost ended up in the door. don't want to squeeze them. You just want to gently tap them. They have to tighten up so they don't try to just slip out. And these things are just brass. So you have to be fairly gentle with them. If it was loose enough on the pin, well, it may have a little ridge in there. So I'm going to take it downstairs, take a file to it, clean it up a little bit, and I'll be back. Put some lube on this, and in case it's all that shit I just said was lost, you just put your jaws where they're supporting it on either side, put the pin through it, drive it down. It keeps it aligned. It keeps this from crushing in. Same thing with the other side. Now we slide this in with a few taps, because it's going to be snug, because that's what you want. The whole reason for changing this was because it was loose. I should have a bigger hammer. That's what I'm going to do. Now there it went. Didn't need a bigger hammer, just a better swing. Alright, that's it. It's in. She's snug. She's not moving. I would love to show you guys me doing this upper one, but I don't think I got enough room to bring the pin in from the top. And I've heard several guys talking about when they do these, the pins come back out. So I'm going to say what it needs is, let me come down here. You have to come down here, drill a hole right through there, and put a cotter key. Except for on the other one, on that one up there, the pin's going to have to come in through the bottom, so the cotter key would be up here on this side. But this pin isn't that loose, and this is not my daily driver anymore. So, hey, it's time to pick it up. And if you didn't notice, I had it sitting on its side. It's easier to work with that way. The real fun's going to be getting this thing back up onto this jack, because I swear this is not any light freaking door. This transmission jack works wonders. Oh. forget to turn my air back on because I was tired of listening to the compressor kicking off and on every few minutes. Alright, you can see I've got the wiring harness plugged in. Push this little clip back down into place. Slide that in. Find a bigger screwdriver. I guess maybe that's as tight as it goes. Oh yeah, because the rubber boot's around it. Which we'll have to work that in and around. That's what seals it up against the weather. Should have put that around the back first. For now, okay. We'll lower the transmission jack. Going to step outside the car and see how the door shuts. I got something out of alignment. Door shuts solid. Alright, appears I need to loosen up this front right here because she's setting in. Just slide it out. This is where all the fun comes in. I can also readjust this door latch, but everything's been out of whack for a long time, so yeah, the rest of this is just monotonous. Tightening, loosening, readjusting, all that kind of stuff. So, thanks for watching. Like, share, tell a friend, whatever. Maybe next time I'll have something that you're interested in. And I hope you learned something. Oh, oil those right down there, those wheels. There they are. Oil those so that this thing will work the way it's supposed to and not lock up. If your door is hard to open and close, need to lubricate things. Alright, thank you. Bye.